It's a dream for anybody who plays cards to play in this.
Somebody's got to win it, right? So why not you? For me.
Only 33 people have ever known
how it feels to be the champion of the world.
Helmuth wins the championship.
What it takes to be the last one standing.
What it's like to have a life-changing victory.
Or a victory that changed the game.
Only 33 people can tell you.
There's nothing like it, baby.
It's the greatest feeling in the world.
This, my friends, is the main event.
Somewhere out there is the next one. Hand after hand. Bet after bet.
I love this game.
One will rise above the rest. One player will conquer all and earn their place amongst the greats.
All you need is a ticket and a dream.
Win the main event of the World Series of Poker, and you will know. The crowds are back.
One World Series to another.
The excitement is back. The hopes and dreams are back.
Next world champ, right here.
Yes, the main event is finally here.
Have a good World Series, everyone.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lon McCarron along with Norman Chad, and we are thrilled to be back for the biggest event of the year, the World Series of Poker main event, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Thousands of poker players have descended upon the Rio, making this 40th annual main event amongst the largest in history with 6,494 entrants.
I came to gamble, honey. I'm going to win this thing.
Okay. From average Joes to top pros and former champs.
This is my new family picture. When I kiss my picture, I'm going to go all in. Okay.
All are here hoping to make the November 9, the main event final table, and ultimately take home the $8.5 million top prize and the title of poker's world champion.
It's the big one, Lon, and I am stoked!
Norman, let's get right to our featured table lineup.
Our featured table is stacked with pros, including the incomparable Alan Cunningham, a 5-time bracelet winner. Ellie Alezra is best known for being one of the high-stakes regulars in the big game here in Las Vegas. And there is Lex Veldhuis, the young online star, made his first World Series final table this year.
The only one of this group to make a main event final table is Alan Cunningham.
Alan, none of us make it the final table in the World Series over here. Come forward, though. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's what you learn for the rest of your life, man. Going for you. Unless you win it this year.
Right. Well, I'll have it, by the end of my life, I'll have it 4 or 5 times.
Alan's last bracelet came in 2007. There sits the bracelet for the big one, the bracelet for the future world champion. This is the first of 4 day ones of the main event. Get right to action. There is Simon Wenz, 22-year-old student from Germany, on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky pocket cam.
I love beef jerky.
Jack, 8 of clubs.
You say he's a student, Lon. We are all students of life.
Indeed. A raise to 600. The blinds at 1 and 200. Ellie Alezra.
Some of us are better at studying life than others. Ellie is one of them.
Queen 10, he calls. Cunningham with pocket trays.
Let's raise it up. Let's play some Alan Cunningham poker.
Oh, he calls.
Oh.
Brian Pincus, CEO of a software testing service with pocket 4s. He calls.
Pocket pairs don't raise. You can't win with scared money. I know. I was born scared.
Here's Cody Slaybaugh, King Queen suited in the big blind.
5 to the flop already? I got agita.
Jack 5-9. Wenz hits top pair. Pincus with a pair of 4s is first to act. He checks. Cody Slaybaugh needs a 10 to make his straight. He checks. Wenz checks as well.
What's Wenz waiting for? His bags to clear customs?
He has a pair of jacks. Alezra checks a straight draw. Cunningham checks his trades.
Ellie could have given him some action.
Turn card is an 8, and Ellie Alezra fills his straight and takes command.
Ellie's got a straight flush draw on day 1 of the main event. I should have worn my Depends.
Slaybaugh checked. Wenz now with 2 pair, jacks and 8s. He's going to bet 2,300.
Well, Wenz should have bet the flop, but he would have just lost more chips because Ellie would have called.
Yeah, Wenz now a long shot to win the hand. Ellie with the straight, with the raise to 5,300. Cunningham folds. Pincus gets out of the way. Slaybaugh says no thanks.
Wenz liked his 2 pair. Understandably, now he doesn't like them. There could be a straight out there or a flush out there. What? There could be a straight flush out there.
He called for 3,000 more. Heads up with Ellie. 5 on the river. Elezra has the best hand. He earns the check mark. And Wens checks again.
Yeah, the wrong card paired from Wens.
Ellie with 8,000.
This is not an automatic fold for Wens. Ellie could have been trying to buy the pot on the turn with a straight or flush draw and now is bluffing again. Heck, I might call here.
This kid has 2 pair, but he gives them up. What a nice fold from Wens.
Well, Ellie Elezra likes to play a lot of hands, and this one pays off.
Ellie Elezra will stack his newfound chips.
Bring Phil Ivey.
Ellie takes an early pot and already talking trash. Careful what you wish for, Ellie. Of course, Phil Ivey will be playing, but not until a later day 1 session of this main event. Norman, every year we anticipate this day, and every year it never disappoints. The road to discovering our next main event champion has just begun, and ultimately we will find out if another unknown captures the glory or if a big name can finally reclaim the championship.
Lon, touch my hand. Do you feel the excitement? This is it. We've heard that guy tell us this is the greatest tournament in the world. No, it's the greatest event in the galaxy. Anyone can play, anyone can win. Heck, we could bound and gag Lon, stick him in a potato sack and roll him out onto the Amazon room floor, and he might make the final table. I love the main event.
It is a spectacle not to be missed. Here you see the chip colors and their denominations for these early rounds. Your $10,000 buy-in gets you $30,000 in tournament chips. That's $10,000 more than last year. There's Gavin Smith out in the field today, still looking for bracelet number 1.
You can't fold the cameras on you.
I can do whatever I want. I'm my own man.
He's right. I once asked him to stop making fun of me, and he made more fun of me.
I'm a rule maker. I'm a hot butter Twizzler.
And see, I once told him to stop snacking at the table, and he didn't listen to me.
You don't get this body without eating a little licorice along the way.
It is quite an experience to find yourself at the same table as Gavin Smith. Also here today, Andy Block. He's come close to a bracelet, most memorably finishing second to Chip Reese in the 06 horse event.
He now has 23 World Series cashes, but no bracelet. And hat aside, he really should have a bracelet. He deserves one.
Does this continue that line of hat, Andy?
Actually, from when I played Chip Reese, it's still the same hat.
Andy hoping the hat works again today. Another top pro looking for his first bracelet, the Great Dane, Gus Hansen.
He's made deep runs in the last couple of main events.
800? I can't afford that.
Gus has finished 160th and 61st in the last 2 main events, but at this moment, Norman, he seems more concerned with giving his fans some quality time.
Geez, when they take my picture, nobody ever touches me.
Perfect.
Nobody ever hugs or kisses me either.
Gus does have quite a magnetic quality to him. Let's go over to table 2. We find another strong pro who was seeking his first bracelet. That is until this year when Greg Mueller won 2 bracelets. But Greg's still looking for his first main event cash. Looks down at 9-5 of hearts.
The 38-year-old Canadian had cashed 17 times at the World Series before he finally won a bracelet, and then he won 2 in about 10 days.
Greg raises to 550. Now to Jacob Carlson, 21-year-old Swedish poker pro, pocket 6s.
I'd give anything to be 21 again and have a pocket pair.
A call of 550. This is Jose de Otiza, ace 10.
He's the CEO of an advertising company. Lon, when you are a CEO, you are the boss.
He calls as well. 3 players to the flop. It is 6-5-9. Carlson with a set of 6s. Mueller hits 2 pair, 9s and 5s.
If Greg Mueller were listening to really good music, it would have stopped when that flop hit the board.
He's going to bet it 1,100 with his 2 pair. Carlson ahead with the 3 6s. Just with a smooth call.
I'd give anything to be 21 again and slow playing a set.
The Otiza folds. Turn card now is a king. That will keep Carlson ahead.
Mueller doesn't see any reason to slow down.
Mueller has chips, and he puts in 2,175. Carlson. He's going to push the action, a raise to 5,600.
Well, now there's a reason for Greg to slow down.
Not much. He does make the quick call. River card now is a 5. Both players hit a full house. Mueller's second best, 5s full of 9s. Carlson with a check mark, 6s full of 5s.
Well, if Greg had hit a 9, it would have been the best card in the deck for him, 9s full. Instead, he hits a 5, which is the worst card in the deck for him, 5s full.
This might be an expensive river card. Mueller bets 8,500.
Carlson might be worried. No, he's not.
No, he's all in for over 18,000.
A concern for Greg, and usually whoever takes his headphones off first is in trouble.
Mueller needs a little more than 9,500 to make the call.
We have pocket sixes?
That would be the right read.
I got a full house. I mean, flush is no good.
Flush? He ain't got no stinking flush.
You just seem way too calm. Sorry? I said you seem way too calm.
Mueller seems to have the situation cased, but he doesn't want to give it up just yet.
All right.
Greg makes the call.
Nah, I knew he had pocket sixes. I mean,
so why'd you call? And Carlson with an early double up to over 51,000.
Yeah, tough hand for Greg, and God, I'd give anything to be 21 again and raking in a big pot.
Main event torture continues.
The main event definitely is not for the faint of heart.
The World Series of Poker 40th Annual Memories.
There's a 9, and Johnny Chan has done it.
The single greatest accomplishment in the World Series of Poker is Johnny Chan winning the main event in 1987, winning it again in 1988, and then finishing second in 1989.
It's hard to win a tournament. It's hard to win it twice, and it's hard to come second and third year.
Once again, Johnny Chan has done it.
That was the best streak anybody ever had. It was amazing.
After his second run, Johnny Chan finished 7th in 1992. So that was 4 main event final tables for Chan in 6 years.
But the Orient Express is running a little behind schedule here today, Norman, as he takes his seat in the Rio Poker Room. 10 bracelets already. What a thrill it would be to tie Phil Hellmuth for 11 bracelets by taking down this title.
If you get your picture on the wall, you don't need ID. Try that one sometime.
I have my picture on the wall at the post office.
Another former world champ playing today. That's Jerry Yang. He won it all in 2007. He's hooked up in a hand right now with 22-year-old Marco Mattis on a flop of 7-7-10. Yang checked. Mattis bets 26-25.
Mattis, an economics student at ACAD in Frankfurt. I believe they are the Raging Cajuns.
Jerry makes the call. Turn card now is a 4 of diamonds.
Yang's about to open up a restaurant, Pocket Aces Sushi and Grill. If my wife's still talking to me, I'd like to make a reservation for opening night.
Mattis with a big bet.
I'm all in.
That would put Yang all in. Yang makes the call. Jerry at risk. Yang shows 10s full. Mattis kings up.
Yeah, Yang flopped the full house and slow played.
Yes. River card another 10. Jerry slams the door closed, hitting quad 10s.
Yang feeling some 07 magic there.
I needed that one. Quads, men. 4 10s.
Yeah, Jerry's back above the starting stack. That's Yang's game. Big swings in his chip stack. And that family picture brought him luck there. Let's get back to our high-powered featured table where 5-time bracelet winner Alan Cunningham hopes to make a run for number 6.
Alan's had a quiet World Series. He shouldn't play Queen 10, but he's going to have to start playing something if he wants to make some noise.
No momentum for Allen. Fold it over to Eli Alezra with pocket 4s. He can find momentum in any starting cards.
Yeah, Eli has such a joy for lifeline that he brings to the table. I think it makes him a better poker player.
Eli raised it to 600. Lex Veldhuis with 9-7 off in the small blind. 25-year-old pro. Yeah, he can get creative. A raise to 2,300.
Well, Lex has a joy for 9-7 off, and that makes him a dangerous poker player.
Eli makes the call.
I can make you chip leader of the whole tournament.
All right, let's see a flop. 6 Ace 5. Alezra still with the best hand. Lex with a gut shot straight draw.
Lex was born in the Netherlands, but he's largely a Las Vegas resident now.
And he comes out with 3,300.
He's got a lot of pep in his step.
He does.
I like the speech. I can make you chip leader of all these tournaments.
Well, if you fold, I like it too.
He's telling the truth there.
Because you're so good, I'm going to fold the pair.
Pocket 4's in the muck. And Lex shows him the bluff.
That's why I'm saying you're so good.
Lex showing him the bluff, hoping that the next time he's showing him the nuts.
Veldhuis takes the small pot from Eli.
I'm telling you, he's the best player on the field today.
He's the best player in the entire tournament? Anywhere?
Today. Today.
Today, well, I'm sure he's the best on the table, but I don't know about...
Alan, today, on the field.
I understand.
Alan may disagree, but high praise from Eli for Lex Veldhuis, who has everyone on their heels.
of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Main event.
Back inside the Rio to our featured table on day one of the 2009 main event.
Lon, have I mentioned I am stoked?
Lex with King Jack.
Lex is 25, but he plays more like he's 26 or 27.
A raise to 600.
Does Alan have somewhere to go? I wish he'd sit down.
He folds. Fold it over to Simon Muenz, 7-6 of hearts.
Muenz is 22 years old. I'm guessing he's a Capricorn.
He makes the call. He'll go heads up against Lex. Here's the flop, 10-7-6. Muenz with 2 pair, 7s and 6s. A swing and a miss by Lex. Lex checks.
We saw Muenz check 2 pair in an earlier hand. He's not going to make that same mistake again.
That's 1,100.
Raise.
And Lex with a check raise bluff to 5,000.
Well, now I think Muenz wishes he had checked. Veldhuis turns up the heat with no hand and no draw.
3,900 from Simon. He makes the call.
Veldhuis has seized control of the pot with that check raise.
Turn card, Queen of Clubs. Muenz still best. Veldhuis picks up an up and down straight draw. And he's firing like he's already got a made hand. 6,800.
Yeah, he picked up a straight draw, but he doesn't have a club. He doesn't have a pair. But Lex has enormous pep in his step. And if you're Muenz, you have to worry that Lex check raised on the flop with a club draw and got there.
Muenz is going to come along. So now the river card is a 4 of clubs, 4 clubs on the board. But as you said, nobody's got a club. So Muenz with the check mark, 2 pair.
Lex has king high.
And Lex is going to bet 7,000.
Veldhuis raised pre-flop, check raised the flop, let out on the turn, and now value bet bluffs the river, and all this activity holding absolutely nothing.
Well, this board's set up pretty well for a bluff there on the river with all those clubs.
Well, Muenz over there looks like he's caught in a traffic jam and doesn't know whether to get off the next exit or stick to the freeway.
Muenz gives up the best hand. Lex shows the bluff once again and takes the pot the only way he could.
Translation, you scallywag me.
Lex Veldhuis may be young, but he does not lack experience. Playing extensively online, he's quickly learned what can take years to master.
I played video games a lot, also on the internet. A friend of mine said I should try and look into poker. I get heavily addicted to stuff I play. I'm very OCD in games. Show it, I'm in the hand. Wake up at 10, play all day. I normally play 30 tables at a time when I do play online. Don't act like you're Euro. I played like 120, 130 hours a week. Once I started winning, I ran it up and started playing for a living. I used to do some crazy stuff online, and one of those things definitely was playing 200, 400 against Phil Ivey. I was awake for like 30 hours already, and then I saw Phil sitting, I was like, yeah. And then I sat down, and I didn't go broke, so I was like, yes. That was definitely a mental victory for me. I call. Online players deserve the respect, I think, but live players do as well. You can both learn from each other. All in. This year I've been having a lot of fun, so it's a good start.
Lex was introduced to poker by fellow online phenom Bertrand Grospellier. The two became friends through the online game StarCraft. StarCraft? Whatever happened to stickball and ping pong?
Several well-known poker personalities in the field today, including Phil Locke, who actually looks like Phil Locke today.
200.
Phil, as you recall, dressed up like an old man in last year's day one of the main event.
3 9s and 2 5s. Probably the best hand. I mean, I know quad 5 is out there, but if you had it, you don't get any beef jerky.
I think he's trying to pat himself on the back, but he can't reach that far.
Through the many grueling hours of the main event, Phil is a walking, talking shot of caffeine. His girlfriend, Jennifer Tilley, also playing today. She once won the ladies' event at the World Series, but has never gotten past day one of the main event.
I always loved her in that preposterous 1989 gambling film with Richard Dreyfuss, Let It Ride.
Jen, not the only Hollywood celebrity playing today. There's actor Jason Alexander of Seinfeld.
I love Seinfeld.
At the same table, Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond.
I like Raymond.
They're in a hand together.
Start shooting.
We're shooting. Don't worry, Jason. And Brad folds to Jason.
There's a poker face for you.
Call it. Did you get it on film? All right. Look.
No second takes there. Good hand for Jason.
Roll around in it.
Brad's got 3 Emmys. Jason has none, but Jason's got Brad's chips.
When you're good, man.
He's good.
Nearby another star, but from a different discipline. Former Major League pitcher Orel Hershiser back at the main event.
I don't understand. If he had played in the NBA, would he bring a basketball to the table?
Well, Orel will win that small pot, and the 1988 World Series MVP is about even in chips so far.
You put pheasant under glass, not baseballs.
I'm like, if he got kings or aces, I'm probably going to go broke.
Well, out in the field, Orel Hershiser safe for now. Let's get back to our featured table, where the man of the hour has been Lex Veldhuis, showing a couple of big bluffs. And there is poker pro Evelyn Ing. She's not playing today, but rooting for her boyfriend, Lex Veldhuis.
Well, what does Lex have that I don't?
Looks, money, intelligence, Evelyn.
Sure, but I got a mustache.
Lex has 8-7 offsuit. A raise to 700 on Alan Cunningham now. Jack 10. Nope, not this time.
Where has my Alan Cunningham gone? What's he doing?
Just joining this table, another strong pro, CK Wah with pocket sixes.
He is a Men the Master protege, 13 World Series cashes, 3 final tables.
He makes the call. He'll go heads up with Veldhuis at the flop. It's 9-10. Jack. Lex flops that Jack high straight. CK left with his pocket sixes. He checks.
And Lex is the chosen one today.
Oh, and Lex checks.
Lex bets when he has nothing, checks when he has something.
Yeah, a 9 of hearts, both with flush draws. Lex with a straight flush draw.
Another straight flush draw? Lana bursting at the seams.
CK checks. Now Lex is going to bet it 1,200.
Well, that heart is another reason for Hua to stick around. He's got a flush draw, plus his 2 pair might be the best hand.
Yeah, and he does make the call. They'll see a river card. 8 of hearts. Lex with the straight flush. Hang on, Norman.
Oh, my seams have burst. Anytime I've ever seen a straight flush, I've gotten married like the next day.
CK with an inferior flush checks.
With Lex's starting hand, the chances of him hitting a straight flush were less than 1 in 100,000.
He bets 3,500 with a straight flush.
So Lex is a tricky fella. We saw him with a value bet bluff on a previous hand. Now we see him overbet the pot with the nuts. And it looks like CK Hua might just look him up.
CK thinking about it. And makes the call. But CK will come up short to Lex Veldhuis.
Straight flush.
Now we're going to play some poker, boys.
Lex Veldhuis does it again.
I think she's waving to me.
Evelyn happy with those results. Veldhuis is invincible. Right here, right now, it's good to be Lex.
Booyah! I've got a straight flush. I can't believe it.
Anything can happen at the main event, and it usually does. You just got to pray the cards fall your way. Going deep in the main event certainly requires a bit of luck, and there are a few players in today's field who could have used just a little more, like Dewey Tomko. He never won the main event, but finished second twice.
Each time he finished second, he went all in with the best of it and came out with the worst of it.
Another runner-up finisher is Johnny Chan. He finished second to Phil Hellmuth in '89, but in Johnny's case, it came after he won back-to-back titles. Chan in a hand with Steve Paul Ambrose here.
Looks like Johnny with his own coin flip on whether to call.
Does he want to go all in? He does put himself at risk against Steve Paul Ambrose, but Chan with the best of it, ace-king against Paul Ambrose, ace-queen. Flop comes out, and Chan is good so far. Trey on the turn.
Only a queen would knock out Chan.
River card and ace. Chan doubles up.
Winner, winner, chicken for dinner.
Johnny with about 13,000 chips.
All right, come back another 30 minutes.
I've set my watch, Lon.
Joining us now at table 2, perhaps the most famous main event runner-up, Sam Farha. He, of course, finished second to Chris Moneymaker in 2003.
That does not appear to be a Sam Farha shirt.
I'm used to it. That's all right.
Sam is out of this pot, but Greg Mueller is not. Greg flopped flush and straight draws. And he is going to push all in. Action over to Gerald Treglio.
Well, Mueller pushes on a draw, and I think he'd prefer to just push Treglio out right now.
Treglio holding the best hand right now, the pair of queens, but they go into the muck. And Greg takes the pot. Mueller, a former pro hockey player, may have not had much success at the main event, but this year he proved he's more than just a journeyman poker player when he won his first 2 bracelets.
Winning 2 bracelets in about 10 days I don't think I ever dreamed of doing that. When I won the first tournament, I realized maybe it was destiny for me that day. But at the time, it was just emotional, and it was, special for me. It was just a great feeling. I was like on cloud 9. It was awesome. Just as it was starting to sink in, I won my second one. I was playing super aggressive, and I just started winning pot after pot after pot. And then all of a sudden, wow, am I really going to win 2 here in a week? And it was crazy. You hear guys like Phil Ivey winning 2 bracelets. Now I win 2 bracelets. And, anytime you're mentioned with that guy in the same sentence, it's pretty special.
Second WSOP gold bracelet. Wear it proudly, wear it well. Congratulations.
When you're playing good and running good, you go a long way. I think this is my year.
Greg's first bracelet was in the World Championship Limit Hold'em event. The key moment came when they were three-handed. Chip leader Chad Brown made an ace-high flush. At the same time, Mueller made a straight flush.
And with his 2 wins, Greg makes the short list of multiple bracelet winners here in 2009. How about Lissandro? 3 bracelets this year, Norman.
Yeah, he plays good.
Back now to the feature table.
I don't know if everybody is like me, having a dream to double on Lex. Just let me wake up with a hand and double on this guy.
That's the sad thing, that you actually need a hand, that you cannot just like force yourself to double or something.
Ellie, not the only one who can dish it out. Time now for our Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand. We'll conceal one player's whole card so you can test your poker reading skills.
This, of course, accentuates my unmatched analytical prowess.
Simon wins. We know what he has. Pocket tens.
Oh, but I can tell you what suits he has, Lon.
A raise to 900. Lex Veldhuis now. 25-year-old pro. He has the wild card hand. Good luck figuring him out, Norman.
He's got it. I am overmatched. I'm going to take a sick day, Lon.
He makes the call for 900.
I'll put him on medium-suited connectors, but don't hold me to it.
Over to Alan Cunningham. Alan with ace-jack. Alan doesn't seem quite with it, but makes the call.
I don't like the way he flicked that chip in. His head's not in the game.
3 to the flop. 4, trade deuce. Wins. No improvement on his pocket tens. And he checks. Lex now. Bets 2,300.
See, if Lex has, say, 8-9 suited, that missed him unless he has hearts. Now, the old Alan Cunningham would sense weakness here and raise with nothing.
But with 2 overs and a wheel draw, he folds. Now to wins. Pocket tens.
I'm telling you, Lex has squadouche. We've seen this movie before.
3 baby cards on that flop. He will call.
I don't like that call. You have to raise Lex.
Turn card, 9 of hearts. Wins with a flush draw. He checks again. Now Lex. Never shy about betting, and he comes out with 6,000 here.
If Lex has hearts, Muenz is in awful shape, but I still think Lex has air, so I want to see Muenz check raise Lex from here to Dusseldorf. Put in a raise, son, and you'll see where you stand. Be a man.
22-year-old German student.
Do it.
Who got bluffed earlier by Lex. Just calls.
I'm not happy with that. We don't get any more information on Lex's hand with just a call there.
River card is an ace, and Muenz has more to worry about. That could sink his ship. He checks a 3rd time.
By checking again, Muenz has handed the keys to the bank to the robber baron.
And he bursts through the safe door all in from Lex Veldhuis.
You gotta love Lex's style. Yeah, I think he has squadouche on a stick, but that bet is for all of Muenz's chips. So ask yourself at home, folks, if your tournament life is on the line and you don't know what Lex has, what do? So many hands might beat you now. Muck it, son.
Simon folds the tens.
I don't blame him. If he was wrong with his read, he'd be gone from the main event.
And Lex shows a bluff. King 6. Oh,
man. My read was right, but then I didn't trust it. Sorry, Simon. I screwed us up.
This is the 2nd time he showed bluff to Simon.
Who would put him on King 6? That is the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
Shame on you.
Most people in this room are playing their cards. Lex Veldhuis is playing poker. Time now for Deal Me In. Brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net, where we find out what the pros were thinking while they were playing. In the 05 Rincon Circuit Championship, Chris Ferguson had to figure out the best way to play his big hand heads up against Prahlad Friedman.
I'm dealt ace-10. That's a very powerful hand heads up. So, of course, I raise.
34,000 chips.
He flat calls, which is fine. Flop comes ace-ace-jack.
Oh, my. Trip aces for Jesus.
Now, that's a fantastic flop. There really aren't that many hands that beat me here. He checks to me. Now, a lot of people would slow play here, but I decided to actually play fast and bet out in this situation. I don't want to let a straight draw get there without having him pay. Turn comes 4th ace.
Chris Ferguson has quad aces.
Not only can my hand not be beat now, but he's less likely to think I have an ace. He checks to me. I bet again, knowing I got the nuts. The river comes a king. Turns out he has king-jack. That actually makes it a lot harder for him to fold.
There would be only one card in the entire deck, the ace of hearts, that could beat him. and Chris Ferguson has it.
He texted me again, so I bet pretty big, $345,000.
You get blessed with quads here?
He calls my hand.
Jesus reveals the fourth ace.
I think the key moment comes down to my decision to bet out on the flop. You don't always want to slow play your strong hand.
Chris Ferguson, the 2000 main event champ, not playing in this session, but will join us in the next. Meanwhile, back to our feature table. Action on Eli Elezra, won his first and only bracelet in 2007. He has Queen 9 off suit, a call of 300.
Eli served 4 years in the Israeli army.
Lex Veldhuis with 6-4. Yeah, a raise. Why not?
I think Lex served 4 years in a trade school for bluffing.
Pocket queens for Brian Pincus. Re-raise.
My daughter tells me this morning, you've got to be very, very quiet so you don't wake up the donkeys.
Well, he was very loud with that re-raise, and that should clear out the riffraff.
That does clear out Eli Elezra, but not Lex Veldhuis with 6-4.
Well, that cleared out some of the riffraff.
There's the flop, 8-5-5. The queens are still good for Pincus. Lex picked up a gut shot straight draw, and he's going to bet it, of course, 5,200.
The Lex Veldhuis circus act continues, a stop-and-go bluff there.
Pincus thinks about it, then makes the call.
Lex with a lot of pep in his step, but he's bound to step in a hole, no?
Turn card, another 8. 2 8s, 2 5s on the board.
Lex needs a t-shirt that says full speed ahead.
Yeah, 10,700, more than half the pot is the bet.
Anyone can make a pre-flop bluff or post-flop play, but to fire a third bullet on a bluff, Lex pressures Pincus into a tough decision.
Oh, and he gives up the queens. Lex has done it again. And he shows again.
Don't show another bluff. Stop it.
Lex with a clinic in putting your opponents to the test and watching them fail.
Lex running over this table.
He live by the sword, he's going to die by the sword.
Lex Veldhuis has the flashiest sword in town.
Where else can you pay $10,000 for this much fun?
Brian is good-natured about being, what would you say, hornswoggled?
Something like that.
All right, let's go back into the field and catch up with one of the world champs in action today. We find Jerry Yang locked in a big hand with Keely Madrid. Keely was a professional boxer from Maui. Action on Madrid. And he's going to re-raise it to 28,000 on a flop of 6-6 queen.
Yang needs almost half of his stack to call here. Jerry was a bit of a calling station during the 07 main event, and it served him well.
Not quite sure what to do here with Keely Madrid.
After his boxing career ended, Madrid became a poker dealer so he could learn about the game.
Did Jerry want to play with him?
I'll let you take it.
Yang will lay it down, and Keely Madrid will take the pot. He shows ace-9. Wow, bluffing rampant here at the Rio, Norman.
You're kidding me, man.
Sometimes it's like that, guys. Sometimes it's like that.
And sometimes it's like that. The 07 world champion can only shake his head and shake it off.
Jerry Yang not happy. Elsewhere in the room, the ladies are still hovering around the most eligible bachelor in poker, Gus Hansen.
You know, if I wore that t-shirt, I might look just as good.
Gus in a hand right now with Wes Simpson. And this is the main event in a nutshell. You got an amateur from Sacramento, California against an international pro.
Well, Simpson just back from Safari, just south of Reno.
Hansen checked the turn.
Simpson attended American River College in Sacramento. I believe they are the Raging Cajuns.
Simpson bets 2,200 into Gus.
See, I don't think those facial expressions are all that attractive, but the gals just swarm him.
Gus Hansen fires back, a raise to 7,000.
Simpson wishes he was back on Safari.
He needs 4,800 to call, and he thinks nothing of it. River card now. Deuce of spades. Hansen fires out a little over 4,000.
Simpson's nickname is Double Down, which he got from blackjack, but this is poker.
Oh, I called.
He makes the call.
I have no idea what's going on.
Ace King for Gus.
Apparently I don't either.
Ace Queen for Wes.
I didn't know if it was good or not.
You know, they only clap for me when I leave the room.
Both with big aces, the pro outticks the amateur.
Wow. I actually have a chance of surviving day one.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Main event.
Welcome back to the Rio and the 2009 main event. Looks like Jerry Yang and his meager chip stack is on the move.
Not much to fight, guys.
And Jerry's sitting across from Johnny Chan.
Only 33 people have ever won the big one. Only 3 former champions are in the field today, and 2 of them are at the same table. Hold me, Lon.
And that's Cobra Cow in between them.
I don't believe he's won the main event.
I'm just looking, I got a lot of chips. Stuck between 2 world champions. I'm alright, but no, you two. Still a little nervous. I'm a little intimidated still.
Intimidating? Yeah, I think so. Yang on his left, Chan on his right, only at the main event.
Or at the Champions Invitational.
What's Cobra Cow doing?
He's texting. Jerry Yang, 2007 World Series champion, just sat to my left, so I have Johnny to my right and Yang to my left, but I'm still massive chip leader. Boy, he writes better than I do.
As a poker player, you dream about playing with these guys, but it could be your worst nightmare.
And Cobra Cow with a nice tattoo on his right arm. Jerry Yang, of course, with a nice main event bracelet on his right wrist.
Good luck to Cobra Cow out there. Meanwhile, Oral Hershiser is still in the game. Then a hand, and the river card is already out. Oral has made a bet.
I mean, I guess we're lucky he didn't put his baseball glove under glass and bring it to the table.
He does take down the pot.
You guys wanted quads. Better look down here.
He's got quad. Hell, he had quad kings.
I can confirm it was quads.
Oral has come to the World Series for several years now and become a true poker player. So we decided to have some fun and see if some great poker players could become true baseball players, at least for a day, in this edition of The Nuts. We assembled 6 poker heavy hitters to see if they could hit a Cy Young Award winner.
We were playing a little wiffle ball, except we got Oral Hershiser on the mound throwing the wiffle ball.
If I don't get a hit here against Oral, I mean, I think that's pretty much the expectation.
I'm really glad the balls are plastic and full of holes.
Oral is past his prime. I think we're safe. Okay, never mind.
Gonna do my best to embarrass them.
You're going down. Big guys go down hard. Down. Let's go.
The goal was simple. Just try and get a hit. Next.
Oh.
Let's go, me.
Oh my God.
Come on, Greg, put one out there.
All right, racquetball time. Oh! Over the fence.
No.
Come on!
There.
Yeah, well done, champ. Mm-hmm.
Very good. That was quite a shot. I've given up longer.
If you were on your stomach trying to blow a bunt base hit by Greg Raymer foul, you have seen your better days. Very, very sad.
Back now to our featured table. New player has joined us, Tom Richter, a 25-year-old German native now living in Australia. And on the Jack Link's beef jerky pocket cam,
beef jerky.
Tom has ace-jack offsuit.
Raise.
If Lex plays, he'll probably bluff Richter off the ace.
He does raise to 1,050. Ellie Alezra with king 10.
Ellie's itching to play.
Ellie's going to come along. Now Lex. King 4 of spades.
Raise, make it 4,000.
Of course he made it 4,000. Oh, look, it's Alan Cunningham. Or he used to be Alan Cunningham.
Queen Trey, he folds.
Man, he hasn't seen anything to play today.
No. Over to Simon Mwins. 7, 6 of hearts in the big blind.
Well, he is in the big blind, but he has been so battered by Lex, I think he should just avoid him at all costs.
No, all in with 7, 6 of hearts. This is the main event.
All in? I never saw that coming. He's got 60 big blinds left.
Fold it over to Lex.
Well, maybe it'll work, because the last obstacle is Veldhouse, and he'd have to put in a lot of chips to defend the honor of his king 4.
Well, Lex has the best hand. Wins is slightly favored because Ellie folded a king, and Lex makes the call.
It's a good call. He's got the right price. He's in a race.
Good call.
And he is tormenting poor Simon Mwens.
How did you know you got the best hand?
It's Lex Veldhouse.
Yeah, who are you, sir? I'm Lex Veldhouse.
The ultimate torment now. Wins at risk. King high still best for Lex after the flop.
I still don't know how Lex made that call.
8 of spades, a gut shot straight draw for Simon now.
Wins now will need a 6, 7, or 9, or he's wamboozled.
River card is a 4. Simon wins, is eliminated. So playing 7-6 for all your chips in the main event can get you knocked out, nice. Norman. Who knew?
Simon wins, swept out of here by Hurricane Lex.
He's rather subdued.
Why did he call?
And certainly a bit stunned.
Thank you.
And now he's learned to never try and con a con man. Back to action inside the Rio. Let's get to table 2. Greg Mueller is facing elimination.
If he gets knocked out, does the massage keep going?
His pocket fives lead the ace-jack of Jacob Carlson after a flop of deuce-king Trey.
Mueller pushed all in pre-flop.
Turn card now. 10 of clubs. Carlson with a gut shot straight draw.
Not a good card for Greg to see. Carlson now needs an ace, queen, or jack to knock out Mueller.
River's a 7 of clubs. Mueller will win that hand to double up and ease the pain of a trying day.
Looks like Greg Mueller might survive day 1.
Meanwhile, Jason Alexander's opponent just shoved all in. Jason has him covered. Does Jason want to commit the chips right here? He does make the call. And Jason turns over pocket tens. He's up against a jack-high flush. Yeah, Jason needs a lot of help. Jack on the turn gives him some hope. Another jack gives him the hand with a full house. Brad happy to see his sitcom compadre win that pot.
Don't celebrities use up most of their luck in real life?
I thought he was trying to scare me out of it. That is unbelievable.
I think he put you on big chair.
Okay,
yes, I'm ready.
I'll be back.
I'm going to the pharmacy very quickly.
George Costanza is among the day 1 chip leaders. He must be doing the opposite of what he thinks he should do.
Meanwhile, at our unofficial champions table, Johnny Chan barely hanging on. Jerry Yang, though, has put all his chips at risk. His opponent, a Mississippi construction worker, Chris Lovelace. And Lovelace calls. Yang at risk.
Good call, sir. I got live cards.
Jerry with Jack 7. Lovelace ace-king.
Lovelace finished 109th in the main event the year Yang won it.
Jerry pairs a 7. He's got the lead, but a king on the turn. Lovelace ahead. The river card is a 4, and Jerry Yang is eliminated.
So this time the construction worker outlasts the social worker, and Jerry Yang is done in 2009.
Jerry has been active in several philanthropic endeavors. We wish him well with those efforts. Back now to our featured table. It's been a rough day for Alan Cunningham, and it's cost him about 2/3 of his starting stack.
Alan probably would give up one of his bracelets just to see a big pocket pair.
Action on Lex Veldhouse. He looks down. Oh, my goodness. He's got a real hand. Pocket kings.
That's just not fair.
Raise.
A raise to 1,000.
Is Lex allowed to raise pre-flop with a real hand?
I don't know. Over to Alan Cunningham. Queen 8 of diamonds. And a re-raise from Alan to 3,700.
Alan trying to out-Lex Lex.
Good luck.
Lex is going to re-raise to put Alan all in.
In there?
Alan does call, put himself at risk with his Queen 8.
Best hand I had the whole day.
Alan card dead all day, reduced to pushing with a motley Queen 8.
Queen, 2 queens, Queen 8, 2 8s. Hello.
There's the flop. Deuce, ace, Trey.
Diamond,
Kings
diamond.
are still best for Lex.
Thanks, friend.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're too kind.
Come on, this is Alan Cunningham, buddy.
Okay, give me a diamond.
Ellie has declared himself as a Cunninghamite.
Diamond.
Turn card. Jack of clubs. That's going to end it. Alan Cunningham drawing dead. He is eliminated by Lex Veldhouse.
Cunningham goes out with a whimper. Veldhouse wins a hand without bluffing.
Even the donkey wake up with a hand once in a while.
This donkey's got a lot of kick.
Big pot.
Quite a low-key exit for one of the game's best. The cruelty of the main event spares no one.
Alan Cunningham was sitting on a pile of nothing all day. The 2005 World Series Player of the Year is out of the 09 main event.
I actually lied. I think he's much better player than you, and he got much better record than you.
Ellie keeps kicking the donkey.
That's not so hard, believe me.
Lex trying to be humble, but he put on quite a show today. The first session of the 2009 main event has come to an end.
The thickest hand in my life.
And with it, the hopes of 293 players who busted out.
I look forward to next year, actually. It's going to be a long drive home, though.
Joining Jerry Yang on the rail were Alan Cunningham, Andy Block, and Oral Hershiser.
Take care, Bulldog.
Hey, guys.
But many others have reason to smile.
You know I can't get fluffed. You know it.
Former main event champ Johnny Chan is still in the hunt.
Tuesday, see you guys.
As are several pros looking for their first bracelet.
I made it fairly deep the last 2 years and basically hoping to make it even deeper this year.
Those who play together, stay together was the theme for Phil Locke and Jennifer Tilley, and also for two funny men.
For a bold Jew, it's not a bad day.
For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. Thanks for watching the main event of the World Series of Poker.